Literally, the direction, the preparation that I got from Steven was, welcome to Indiana Jones. He wrote a little note on my script that said, okay, now it's time to transform yourself into Mutt, signed Steven, and he gave me 3 movies. He gave me Blackboard Jungle, Rebel Without a Cause, and The Wild One.
There was just some films that I thought would inform him of the period that we were making our film in, not trying to imitate that movie.
Nice, that's good.
When we started, what was going to take the most time, and we knew it was going to take the most time, would be the sword fight.
So hard, man. Oh, God.
Which kept evolving. We'd be moving so fast in training that the ideas started changing. Steven started going, okay, hold on, why don't we add this? Let's put 2 trucks here, let's put it in the jungle.
Start the whole move there. Start the whole move about here, yeah.
The way that we had started was like a stand-up fight on the ground, and where we've ended up now is a whole different thing.
That would be perfect.
The goal is to get it to bounce off the shoe, you know?
Steven said at the beginning, we're gonna give you a switchblade. And we didn't have a switchblade coach, but I was able to take the knife home every night. So just me messing around with it, it became like my Tetris. It became the most interesting thing to do on set. It just became my video game. And I got pretty good with it. It just became like a fun thing. And I started showing Steven, oh, that's awesome. We're gonna add it somewhere. So that's how that came in.
I had no predisposition about Shia when I heard that he was Steven's choice to play my son. And I was comfortable with that because I have that degree of confidence in Steven. And he has turned out to be an inventive, unique personality with real storytelling sensibilities, but also just a sweet guy. So it's been a pleasure to work with him, and it's been a pleasure to spend time with him.
The first time that I had seen Harrison in full regalia was Harrison flew in on his helicopter, and you look up and you hear the ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and you know it's Harrison. And he gets out of the helicopter, and he takes about 5-6 steps, and he goes, oh, wait. Then he walks back to the helicopter, opens the door, and then he reaches for something, and he pulls the whip out, and he untangles the whip, and he looks at it, and he greases it, and he holds it, and you're, oh my God, this is so real. You're like shaking, your hands are shaking. You've just seen him do whip practice.
The whip came back pretty easily too. I was surprised because it's a relatively uncommon skill, and I was able to bring it back in a couple of weeks of pretty diligent application.
We did a costume and makeup test on Harrison, and I had to kind of walk out of the light a few feet just to take a few deep breaths before going back to work. Because seeing him looking that good, it was kind of like, what happened to the last 19 years? How the heck did they go by that fast? My God. And that was scary, but it was also beautiful. And it was something we all shared together.
The people who are working on this film, the core group of us, you know, we're on the first Indiana Jones. We've known each other even before that, so we've known each other over 30 years. So it's a very family-type group.
To do it again with the same people is a mark of the respect that you have for what they've brought to the table. And so to be reunited with George and Steven and Kathy and Frank, who were the original producers, is a great delight.
In keeping this movie to the tradition of the other films, I went back to my earliest producer, Frank Marshall, who produced Raiders of the Lost Ark and was very active on the other 2 movies, executive producing, and we had a great reunion. But of course, we were never that far away from each other. Our families have stayed close. We do carpool. Kathy, as you know, has produced a lot of my movies. So it's not like it was unusual for Frank, Kathy, and I to work together again, because we never stopped working together.
I think that's the interesting thing about this series is that because so many of us work together, Frank, who I'm now married to because we met on the first Raiders.
Kathy and Frank, you know, they met on the first Indiana Jones and then eventually got married. And Kathy's been working with Steven ever since. And, you know, so this is like a reunion of all of us coming back together again after all these years. And it's been a huge amount of fun.